So welcome back everyone to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. Now for today on the show, what can I say? It's already a perfect weekend because we have the amazing, the badass, superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the incredible Ashlee. Ashlee, how are you today?
I am good. I don't think anyone's ever described me like that before, so thank you. Makes me feel awesome, like
There
a
you go.
machine or something. Yeah.
I love it. And as I said here, what better way to start starting up the weekend? You know what I mean? So with an epic chat, just saying.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, what was that a question? What was
No,
it?
it wasn't a question. We haven't started yet. We're just kind of starting out with the whole intro going on here. You know what?
Yeah.
At some point, I would like, once I'm able to have like in-person conversations and
Yeah.
have a little more budget to have like some fireworks going on. Like some sparks going. Like whenever
Oh, yeah, some
I'm
flame.
presenting.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Get
know,
some confetti dropping from the ceiling and stuff like that.
totally.
Definitely. The
Some
vibe.
some acrobats too doing their stunts here and there.
Yeah, exactly. Really like just tone it up a bit, Make it a
Mm-hmm.
whole thing.
Absolutely. But in the
Hmm.
meantime, we're just having like a cool intro here. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to, leave a like, subscribe, follow helps a lot. But also on the description below, you're gonna find all of Ashlee's social media. Let's follow her. But also let's discover why she's super badass, right? Now, without further more, let's jump in with the whole, interview. So I want to start this conversation by throwing out with the first question, which is, what initially drew you to pursue acting as a career?
Yeah, so acting is something that I really have always wanted to do. Since I was little, I would always watch a movie and then imitate that movie and go and play, like all kids normally. But when I got a little bit older, I was able to take my first acting class when I was in the ninth grade. My mom took me, but I wasn't able to continue on that journey at that time because we lived in a rural place in Ohio. And so my mom had to travel to the city to get me to the acting classes and things. And so once I graduated college, I was able to start taking acting classes and was able to fund, my acting because honestly, that's a huge part of it is having the money to fund all of the classes, the drives, the housing, everything else. So yeah, I think that's how I pretty much got started about 3.5 years ago now. And it's been a very fun ride so far. I absolutely love it.
And there you go. So basically, starting from the bottom, now we're here.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Epic. And can you recall on a specific moment or performance that solidified your passion for acting?
Honestly, I feel like I get that every time I step on set, to be honest, or take a class. Because for myself, once I see a script that I really resonate with, or a character or a story, or even watch a show, anything like that, it kind of solidifies in my brain like, ah, yes, this is what I want to do. Like there is nothing else in this world that I want to do more than act or to tell a story and to entertain people. It's just
Mhm.
like such a cool thing to get into, and it's allows you to kind of reach those different parts of yourself and be more vulnerable. So it's really neat.
Yeah. And when you were a child, was acting like your main thing, or was there something else going on that you were like, you know what, I want to become this, or was it
Yeah.
just only acting?
So no, so I really always wanted to pursue acting. I really always did. I didn't have the resources. It was back before like internet was super available for everybody. Nobody had cell phones really when I was little. So it was one of those things where like I'd wanted to be an actor, but I would not have known how to start. And so other than that, I would do basketball. I played basketball my life. At one point I thought that I wanted to take that to college and, keep going that route. But then yeah, it just kind of hit me that that wasn't truly my passion. And once I started, in the realm of acting, it was like, ah, this is it. It was like the light bulb just turned on, and I was like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So
And do you still play basketball or as a hobby or?
I
Yeah.
do every once in a while. I'd say I'm super rusty right now. I did love it back in the day, and I still do love basketball, but I'm sure muscle memory would kick in if I picked up a ball and started playing, but it would look very rough. I would do it by myself with nobody around so that I didn't embarrass myself.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
Right.
And what's your favorite team?
My favorite team. So right now I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan. So like WNBA kind of caught my attention with Caitlin. So I'd say the Indiana Fever would probably be it right now. I used to watch the NBA a lot back in high school, but I kind of dropped off with that. So yeah, I'd say the Indiana Fever,
Yeah.
WNBA. Yeah.
You know, it's great that now it's more accessible to watch, like the whole female competition, either for basketball, for soccer or football, like depending on
Yeah.
you are. But it's great as back then, which it was kind of a little bit, I mean, well, first of all, back then there wasn't and specifically to be honest, so but it's good that now we have like the accessibility to watch like that type of of yeah, like that branch basically, as
Yeah.
then, and it's also good the fact that now it has like more recognition worldwide.
No, exactly. I think it's so cool too because there are so many facets of women's sports that are just so neat and niche to watch. And I think they can get overlooked sometimes because people throw around, oh, well, it's women's sports. It's not going to be as entertaining. Well, it is if you find the right teams or watch the right things. You find a lot of cool and talented people out there. So
Totally. Yeah, I have a friend of mine that she's well, kind of like a pro volleyball player, and she took me once to one of her matches, and
mhm.
not gonna lie, like things got like super, like the whole vibe to it. People were exciting. The match was super interesting, like super intense going on. I was like, you know
Yeah,
what, this is cool. So, and I think like that is like the good, that is like what do you want to see as a fan,
mhm.
or as an spectator? The fact that you're able to kind of have fun to it and to see like a show do it, and the
Yeah,
athletes who are putting their best effort to win, of course. I think that is yeah, that is a cool thing that now, as I was saying before, that it's now like more accessible for you to watch like the female branch of different sports.
yeah,
And who knows? I mean, you might like it, you might not, but why not sometimes give it a try and see what the fuzz is
exactly.
about sometimes. So
hmm Yeah, I completely agree.
cool. Cool. Now, getting back here to your whole, acting career, tell me,
Yeah.
like, how do you approach preparing for a new role, and what techniques or methods do you find most effective?
Yeah. So basically I think I approach every role kind of the same. I've got the same method to my madness, but each is individual in its own right. So say I book a role. Kind of the first thing that I pretty much do is I'll just read through the script, the entire script, maybe a couple of times just to see how my character has relationships with the others. How do I fit into this puzzle? And I kind of figure out the dynamics and those kind of things. And once I get the overall dynamics of my character with the others, I then kind of delve into myself and the individual character. And that point, I really just pick out, okay, of this character within this story and the dynamics that they have, what do I relate to? Who within this character do I relate to most? And what is different between I and the character? And so it's kind of a fun little game of just investigating and breaking it down. And it's kind of fun. After a while, you're like, oh, okay, I've got this process. I know what to do. And so I approach probably every role like that,
Mm,
first and foremost. And then other than that, just really resonating with kind of who that character is as a whole, like, and
mm.
putting it all together. Yeah.
And like with that approach that you use, what has been
Mhm.
like the most challenging role that you've undertaken, and how did you overcome those challenges, let's say?
Yeah, so I would say one of the most challenging roles that I've had to do is from a film called Summer of Sorrow, a feature I did about like 2 years ago, maybe. I had to play a mother. It was a period piece, and not only a period piece, but a super intense, like emotional drama. And I had to be a mother of five back in 1949,
Oh,
moving from rural Kentucky to Ohio, Mansfield, Ohio. And with that role, it just required so much vulnerability and raw emotion in terms of just crying and grief and sorrow, really. I mean, the title Summer of Sorrow. So I kind of had to continuously live in that realm of just grief, which was kind of hard at times because of how many people were on set at the time of filming and things like that. It was a passion project. And so you'd have people watching these scenes, and I would have to consistently be in that grief mode. And it was really hard trying to balance the fun stuff that was going on set, and how I was supposed to be acting.
Mm.
So I think that's just one of those things. It was so early in my career too that I didn't really take the liberty to take myself aside and give myself those moments to kind of get into the grief, let it come in, and take that time out for myself. So I'd say trying to consistently bring those emotions in front of a lot of people over and over again, that was my most challenging role. Now I think I know how to handle that a little bit better, and how to prepare myself more, but it was definitely difficult. I also don't have kids, so trying to be a mom of five without that knowledge was a little tough too. So
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand. I mean, yeah, totally. The other day I was speaking with my mom, like how she managed. I
mhm.
mean, I just have like another older brother and I, so we just two.
Yeah.
And I asked her like how she was able to kind of cope with two kids, especially like in the whole teenage years, when I mean, we know that when you're a teenager, it's like you're you're annoying, you know?
Yeah. Oh
You,
yeah.
like so
Definitely.
I was asking her like how did you manage, to kind of cope with two teenagers, with having to deal like with their problems, things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was just laughing about it, and then she was like, "You'll see one day," and I was like, "Yeah, we'll see."
We'll see. Maybe, yeah. So my mom keeps bugging me too, and I'm like, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand because she wants to kind of raise the grandkids, having fun with them. So I get it.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, especially right now in this era, that everything is just getting like super crazy expensive,
Yes.
and I'm like, yeah, I can bring you dogs, you
Yeah,
know,
right. I'm in the same boat. I tell my mom, I'm like, don't worry, I'll just get another dog. Like, it's fine. You can have another grand puppy. It's okay.
you know what I mean? So you don't have
Yeah.
to. Mean actually having dogs could be like more fun, You don't have to. Yeah, let's leave it with dogs, right? And then she just remains quiet and be like, "Well, shouldn't say anything," and I'm like, okay, sure. So yeah. But having like on your case, to have to experiment, being a mom of five kids. I mean, that must have been challenging, I bet, and especially in an era which was, you said 1949, right? So it's after the whole like World War II. There's I was reading a book the other day saying like after that, after World War II, there was a lot of economy problems going on, because some countries have to rebuild, and this
Hmm.
whole thing going on with yeah. So I get it how. I sometimes wonder like how people were able to kind of cope with the situation that after this whole thing happened, how to kind of rebuild and to get together their lives again, and things like that. So
No, it was crazy because in the story, the mom actually loses a baby. And
no,
so yeah, that is kind of what sets that into motion with grief and things like that. But
totally.
also it was based on real life events. And so the family that this was about actually wrote the film, and I was playing their mom, who it was a lot of pressure, and they would consistently come and watch us on set, and I would be like, "Oh my gosh, did I do okay?" And one of the eldest daughters came up to me and hugged me and told me that I did a really good job portraying her mom, which made me feel like $1 million, and the pressure just kind of melted a little bit. But yeah, that one had so many facets to it that it was just, yeah, it was a little difficult, but we got it done. Got it done. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's badass here. So we're now discovering a little by little, like, okay, no, I'm kind of getting it. I'm kind of getting the whole vibe of how badass you are. So I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm loving it. Now, are there like any rituals or routines that you follow to get into character before, either filming or performing if it's necessary on theater or so on? So
Yeah, honestly, I would say any routine or ritual would be based on the character I'm playing and the story. Um, Normally, something that I kind of do that isn't so individual to the story or character would be like listening to the style of music that I think my character would listen to, or writing journal entries as my character, and really just sitting down and letting that character become me and me become them. And kind of just seeing before I step into any role, I really like to see where they're coming from. What's their purpose in this story? What hurt did they have? What happiness do they have? What brings them joy? Like all of those little things kind of add up. And so before I, begin on set or anything like that, I want to make sure that I'm completely aware of who this character is and how do I fit within this character. So,
Hmm. I mean,
yeah.
it's a whole other process, but it's beautiful the fact that you are able to create like your own thing. You know, it kind of shows. I mean, I see it this way that it kind of shows people who wants to start in this whole acting industry that there is no specific path on how to do things, right? I mean, of course that you need to take classes and here and there, but you can take pieces from other people's doing and kind of create to start shaping your own style, and that's understandable because at the end of the day it's you who is playing in a specific role, right? So it has to have your essence to it, and with that of course you can take pieces from other people, but it's important to shape your own stuff, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a huge thing as well. I think that you need to be open to learning from other people within the industry, and your friends in real life. Like learn from people, watch people, and then approach it with however you feel fit. I think too many people kind of stick within these boxes of, oh, well, I studied Meisner, so I'm only going to follow this Meisner technique, or, Udahagen, or whatever it is. And it's like, find what works for you. Use multiple if you have to, because that might give you the best results. But whatever that character is calling for, and however you can put the pieces together for that specific puzzle project, then do it. Like, why not just try something new and see what happens, or anything.
Yeah, and especially like once you start to discover like how, yeah, like how complex and simple sometimes humans are, and our emotions can suffer, can create uh different impact in our lives. So I can understand that it's really important for you to not follow only like one process, but have the flexibility to do more on the fly at the same time and create your own thing, so you can prepare depending on the specific role you're gonna get, right? Either if it is an incredibly dramatic one or if it is a comedic one, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why not just give it a try, and definitely explore different options, I would say, for each character. See what fits.
There you go.
Yeah.
So love it, epic. And can you share a memorable on-set or backstage moment that left a lasting impression on you?
Yes, definitely. This one's more funny, but it's the first one that comes to mind. So, when I was on the set of this rom-com that I just finished up, there was a scene where I was supposed to slap a my co-star, and it's kind of a dramatic scene. I'm crying, I have to slap him, and I run out. Well, when we were going through the motions for that scene and breaking it down, they my counterpart, my other actor was like, okay, I really want you to hit me. And I was like, man, I don't want to hit you. I'm like, we can fake this. I can make it look like a hit, and we don't have to touch you. And he said, no, I want you to hit me. I want it to be real. And so I was like, oh, okay, I will hit you. And so I had to slap him across the face and continue with the scene. I smacked this man so hard, and immediately when I hit him, I just broke, and I felt even more awful for breaking my character because then it was like I just slapped him for no reason at that point, and I was cracking up laughing. I felt so bad for him. He had had a big, like, red mark on his cheek, and it was one of those times where I was like, "Guys, we could have just faked this. I did not need to hit you," moments. And yeah, that one's pretty memorable to me. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Hashtag slapping and acting.
Yes, exactly.
I like it. Sounds fun. You know, one of the things that I do want to, I mean, I hope one day I get the chance, is just to be on set. You know, not to act, but just to be on a
Yeah.
set. You know, like I want to see like what the fuss is about. You know, a lot of actors who that I have interviewed have told me that when you're like on set is like it's like another vibe going on. You know, that is like their version of Disneyland.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
you definitely should. I was actually just telling someone recently, they asked me about what, like, is it hard for me to walk away from the role, after I get done with it? And I told them no, honestly, the role is fine. I can drop that pretty easily. What's not easily dropped is the relationships and the friendships that you build on set and the memories that you make. It is so hard for me to just put that down and just walk away because it's like you build this camaraderie with everybody on set. It's so much fun. It is still a lot of hard work, but you just get to meet so many wonderful, eclectic, eccentric people that it's like just overwhelmingly like joyful. It's a really good time. And yeah, I'd say those are the most meaningful and memorable times is when you're on set. So I say if you get the chance, definitely hop on one, do some work or just watch.
we'll see what happens. I mean, nobody will even know that I'm there. You know, I'm that good. You know, I could
Yeah,
be,
like that sneaky, just
you know,
yeah.
and just having a snack to it, not too crunchy, so I wouldn't disturb anyone seeing, you know, or something like
Yummy.
that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what
You can
happens.
totally get away with it. I'll sneak you on set for sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love it. And like, how do you balance portraying a character authentically while still bringing your own unique style and personality to the role?
I think understanding the story is probably the biggest part, understanding the direction that the director is wanting to go in, and kind of improvising a bit whenever you need to with your other actors, really paying attention to what they're saying and putting it on your other actor helps you be able to act authentically and not be in your head. Another thing that I have picked up from other people and I've used myself and it works is making sure that you completely memorize the script. I mean, have it down to where you could recite it backwards, all of that stuff. Because once you get on set and you start the scene, you just drop all of the ways that you practiced it. You drop every aspect of what you thought that role should be, and you just let it play out. And I think that's when you get your most genuine, authentic work. Is at that point. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, even though that you're gonna be playing someone different, it's kind of you, you know. So it's understandable and it's yeah, it makes sense that you need to kind of being able to put like your unique style and personality to the whole role. So
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think with that, basically the way I look at it with putting myself into the character is looking at that story again, looking at the character and how they relate to everyone else, but also what traits does that character have that I also have? What do we have in common? What family style do we have in common? What do we have? What are our differences, basically? And then I kind of figure that out as I'm practicing, as I'm reading, and I'm able to see where I fit within that character. And I think some actors, like, I've seen where they'll just say, "No, I don't let myself become the character," that it's separate and things like that. And I don't know how that's possible because I feel like it's almost impossible to not have yourself bleed through and become a part of this character with when you're acting and doing that because
mhm,
we're living beings. Our little nuances are gonna come through, at some point. So
totally. And like whenever you're about to play in a specific scene, it's your emotions who are reacting to it. You know, even though that you know that it's not real, your body can't really tell the difference, right? So
mhm.
it's and I think that is amazing, like the fact that you're able to put your real emotions to it, you know, an A performance, you know, that because at the end of the day, those who are watching it, you know, can sometimes relate to it, but also if we can relate on your specific reaction to it, I mean, at the end of the day, it was your emotion to it, right? It was your
Yeah.
personality who came into play. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
definitely. 'Cause you could have 10 people come and audition for a role and they could all do that role differently. They could all perform differently because it's them. We're all different people. So, yeah, 100%.
epic, epic. And have you ever experienced a breakthrough moment where a role or performance significantly impacted your growth as an actor?
Yeah, yeah, I would say, so there was a movie that I just did, a short film called Stoned, and it is a dark comedy type short film. It's super funny. It is a stoner slash dark comedy. And within that, I think what I learned most is by kind of like improvising a little bit. And you kind of learn different things from each director, but that director specifically, Joseph Cox, he just really allowed me the space to kind of explore and play around with this character that I had. And she was a very neurotic, self-centered, uh kind of just an idiot like girl. And so I got to step into that and kind of grew in the aspect of letting myself play more and feeling comfortable because the director gave me that support and the other actors gave me that support that I could play. I could step out of the box, do something a little crazy. And then if it was too crazy, they'd pull me back or things like that. And I think that freedom is where the magic happens. Having that sort of freedom with boundaries where the director can pull you back is the sweet spot for me. So
Yeah, totally. I mean, at the end, you want to feel comfortable, and that's understandable at the same time because like if you feel comfortable, it's more than obvious that your performance is gonna go 100%.
exactly. And you always hear like get comfortable being uncomfortable. And a lot of acting is uncomfortable. Like you're having to step into these moments where, okay, I have to be vulnerable in that room full of strangers. They don't know me. I don't know them. I have to perform in front of them and they're going to critique me or tell me that I'm doing well or should do something a different way. And so I think there's always kind of outside pressures and things. So if you have people on set, like the director or sound people, anybody really, that gives you that pat on the back and they're like, hey, you're doing great, or, go for it, give it your all. Like that gives you such a little push and edge to just make that performance that much better.
Yeah. So in other words, don't be a dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be a dick. Be comforting. I think if you want your best work to come out, it's best to have, some kind of comfort or support system on set, I feel like.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's helpful.
because totally because at the end of the day, you are all collaborating to create something. So it's on. So it kind of. I think it's the best way to just don't be a dick because you never know. Well, first of all, you never know,
Mhm.
but also, perhaps somebody there is not having a good time in their personal life, so it's not cool to, be mean with someone because I don't know, for something happened or whatever. Because as I was saying, you never know. And sometimes people are struggling or having a situation that perhaps is not a great time to, so just be kind to everyone. And also, I think that is the way to, be kind with people, enjoy every conversation you get because it might be the last one you get, or you might not see that person again. So then there's always an opportunity to learn so much from a single conversation with anyone around there that can actually help you in your life at some point.
Definitely. Well, and I think of it too like a domino effect. You're nice to someone, okay, now that person might be nice to another person because you just made their day with a simple kindness, a hi, a thank you, holding the door open for somebody, or just lending an ear to chat with somebody.
Totally.
And plus, like you were saying, you never know what you can learn from someone else, from any conversation. You could be anywhere and start up a conversation with, say, a worker at a store, and they just give you this insight that you're like, holy crap, that solved a lot of problems and I had that I didn't know how to solve. Or and anything. It's always great to be kind, to lead life with kindness and uplift others. It takes zero effort to just be nice.
Totally. Plus, karma's a bitch, so
That's true. She do be a bitch sometimes. So
so you know.
yes.
So the other day, oh, I remember now. The other day I was so in one interview I
Uh,
was we were speaking about the whole karma thing, right? And then
Yeah.
I mentioned that I saw in a movie that they were saying that just forgot it now. David, no, no, wait. I can have it. It was something about. Okay, let's just move on, and and at some point,
Okay, it'll come
and at
back.
some point, I'm gonna get it. I mean, I'm this type of person that sometimes I'm like, I'm doing something else, and then I'm like, I get it again. You know what I mean? So let's just
My
continue.
my brain works the same way. I will be staring at somebody and I will be mid-thought talking and then it just goes away. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I have no idea where that thought just went, but it's gone.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. And it's funny because yeah, like something will like someone will tell me something, and then I'll be like thinking about it, and then a couple of hours later, I'm not gonna lie, I could be like watching TV or walking with my dogs or something, and then I'm like.
mhm.
Oh, I get it now. You know what I mean? Like totally random out of the blue.
Yeah. Like that's what I was trying to say. No, totally.
So yeah, that happens sometimes. So let me just. Oh yeah, I got it now.
Yeah.
It's so in that movie they were saying that Payback is a bitch and her stripper name is Karma.
Ah, okay. I like it.
Yeah, that was the
Very
thing
nice.
that I was gonna say. Yeah, I saw it in a movie and I was like, you know what, that kind of makes sense sometimes.
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
yeah.
Nice.
And tell me, like, what do you find most rewarding about being an actor, both personally and professionally?
Ooh, I like this question. So I would say what I find most rewarding would be the fact of me becoming more authentically myself.
Mm,
Um, since starting acting, I have noticed even in my personal life that I'm more comfortable being me. And I would not trade that for the entire world because acting allows you to be vulnerable, to open yourself up to many facets of your personality without judgment because people expect you at that point whenever you're auditioning or practicing for a role or even on set doing the role. They expect you to have that emotion and they expect it from you. So really you're just allowed to be yourself, and I've met so many people within this industry that just fit me perfectly in terms of friendships and personalities, and it is a good little reminder and blessing to let me know like, hey, this is for you. Like the door opened, you walked through, and this opportunity is for you, this path. And yeah, so I'd say the most rewarding thing from acting so far is becoming more comfortable with myself and the amount of wonderful people I've met that have also allowed me to be authentically me and not feel judged for being that. So
hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
kind
like
of
it.
cool. I
No,
know,
it's
right?
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's your essence to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's what makes you be who you are and how to enjoy what you do. So
exactly. And it's like, wouldn't you want to do something that you enjoy and that makes you feel more complete and more like yourself and that kind of stuff? So yeah, yeah, it's been a really really cool experience.
totally, and that's the thing here, right? To do actually what makes you happy, right? Regardless of or of whatever it is, and especially right now in this era, in this time now that people is just angrier than angrier than normal, and you will see so many people feeling miserable of doing something they hate, of like whatever they're doing, and it's a shame because like once you start to realize like how that that at some point we all be gone,
Yeah, life's too short.
you know.
Life is way too short. Do what makes you happy. Follow your passions. And it might be scary, but it won't be after you start it and you figure out that it's not as bad as what your brain let you think it was. And yeah, I always encourage people anytime I see them, whether it's, photography or if it's they want to become a lawyer or they want to start up their own business or anything. I'm like, go for it. Like, what's stopping you? I mean, everyone starts somewhere, and always just remember that like you have people behind you too. You have friends, you've got family hopefully that can support you, anything like that. But I always say go for it. And like it's your
Totally.
life, go live it.
Totally, totally. Go for it. And at the same time, be humble, right? Be grateful of what you have. I do think that sometimes perhaps we only focus on the things we don't have, that it just take a second to kind of stop back, like to stop and to look around what you have, you know? And maybe for some other people might not be that much, but you know, maybe for you it is, you know, sometimes you should take a second to kind of stop and be grateful for what you have, because whatever you're having right now, it somehow might help you. I mean, it's up to you, of course, to use that you're having to kind of jump into the next, you know, into the next stage, or to, you know, keep moving forward. So I do think that that is also one of these problems that we are living in right now, that people suddenly forgets to enjoy more, you know, to enjoy what they have, and they just work like crazy on something that might not have. And you know, like, what's the point of it? You know, I was also was seeing this video the other day saying like, if your main goal it's money, you know, at some point you might get it, you might not, but once you get it, you might not enjoy it as much as you wanted as you were back then, because you
Yeah.
know, life hits, and you get older, and there's a moment in time that in life that you are not going to be able to pursue you know, to do certain stuff because of your, you know, your age. So just go
Yeah.
for it and enjoy life, you know, do what makes you happy.
I think, yeah, people get to that certain level and they're like, oh, this is it. They're always looking like the grass is always greener on the other side. That's the mentality that a lot of people seem to take. And it's not. I mean, enjoy and water your own grass, your own yard, make life come to fruition and everything there. And I think people do tend to overlook that because it's always, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And you forget to take that moment to just be like, hey, where I'm at, this is awesome. I wanted this for so long and now I have it. And take that second to enjoy it, and yeah, really recount the things that are blessings to you that you're grateful for.
Totally enjoy your victories, you know.
Yeah, enjoy the victories. Don't just overlook those things because life's going to get too heavy if you constantly are just chasing the next thing. Enjoy it and keep going. Yeah.
Totally, totally. I mean, don't go, you know, an actor once told me that don't only focus on the main goal, you know, like on the destination. Enjoy the ride. You know, take a look to explore the ride, because it's on the process on you to the main goal that you're gonna be able to learn new stuff, to meet new people, to help yourself into become a better version of yourself, right? And then you will reach the main stuff you are pursuing it. But in the process to it, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even with that, like stepping out of yourself and out of your comfort zone can help so much with helping you enjoy the ride and trusting the process. Because sometimes I think as humans innately, we want to be in control of situations and where we're going in life. And honestly, the best magical things happen to us when we just ride the wave. Just see where life takes you and enjoy that journey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Epic. I love it. I'm loving this. This is super cool. We're speaking
I
truth
love it.
here. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
best way to have a morning.
definitely. I'm already feeling better. I feel like more uplifted. We are having some soul talk right now. So
This is
I
like therapy going on here, just
It
saying.
is, it is. We all need a little bit of this in our lives.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. And tell me, like, how do you navigate the highs and the lows of the entertainment industry? And what advice would you give to aspiring actors who are facing the similar challenges, let's say?
Yeah. So I would say one of the biggest challenges and kind of the lows that hit more often than not would be when you don't book a role, I would say. Or if you lose out on a role that you really got your hopes up for, those moments can hit a little bit harder because you're like, man, I was right for that part. I had that in the bag and they still didn't pick me. It's important in those moments not to get so invested in that project or that character. My main mantra in life for myself is to just let it go. You did it, let it go. And thankfully I've seen and kind of absorbed it from other actors watching, YouTube or talking to different actors on set or Zoom and we've all kind of developed that mentality of don't don't put that on you. You can't control that. There are so many circumstances in this business that are out of your control. So don't make it a personal thing. Don't make it something that is make or break you. Imagine it as that opportunity, that door closed because it wasn't for you. That was not meant for you. You have another one open right around the corner. If you just keep going, that thing that is for you is going to meet you there. So I think that keeps me going. It allows me to manage the lows and take that blow a little less heavy than I probably would if I did not do that. For the highs, I also try not to let them get too high, because then it's like you get that spike in dopamine, and sometimes whenever it wears off, you just drop all the way low because it's like you got so excited over this thing, or you got so overwhelmed by it, and then whenever it starts to drop, your dopamine kind of levels out and you get a little low again, and you're like, oh wow, okay, well now I'm back to square one. So I'd say be grateful for every opportunity that you get. Know that if you don't get a certain opportunity, it's not for you. And to realize that your thing, your golden ticket is right in front of you. It's going to meet you where you're meant to meet it. And what's for you is for you. So I
No.
think that helps so much.
Yeah, it's actually more healthy to it. And it's true. I mean,
Mhm.
if you didn't got something at some point, it wasn't meant to be at that point. You know what I mean? I try also to look things the way you are. Yeah, like the way to look things the way you do, because it's more healthy and it's more, it keeps you more focused on what you want and not pushes you into this kind of dark zone that you just feel miserable. And we all been there, but once you realize it's been like 4, 5, 6 hours and you still, it doesn't help at all. And it's so amazing also like how life sometimes will be sending you messages, like subliminal stuff here and there to kind of continue following your path, like this might not be the right moment for you to take that jump. And
Mhm.
once you take it later on, you're like, you know what? Yeah, it wasn't the right time at that point, and I get it now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm huge with, picking up like things from the universe and feeling like the universe is sending me something. One thing that I always like notice is with angel numbers and things like that, I always try to pay attention, and some numbers that I always see is 127. And I always keep it in my mind whenever I see the numbers 127, I am supposed to be where I'm at that moment. And I trust that and I feel it and I just go with the flow. And I think also that helps you approach every situation as possible with that upbeat, optimistic, just good overall attitude and mood.
Hmm.
And that helps you anyways because people want to be around happy people. They want to be around people that they can relate to that's not going to bring them down. And so I think that that can be an advantage too of trusting the process, trusting the universe because once you relinquish control, things get so much easier. Life gets easier. It really does.
Yeah, like once you start to discover how, I mean, of course, that sometimes there are moments, right, that life gets a little bit tough or complicated, but
Absolutely.
at the same time, we might, yeah, like we might take things more complicated than they actually should be, right? Like, I used to say a lot back then that whenever something happened in my daily life, like whatever happened, I'll be like, oh, this was, today was actually like a bad day, things like that. And I was feeling
Yeah.
like, it wasn't a good day. But then it was when my father had like a heart attack and, went to the hospital and all of that. At that moment, I said, you know what? No, screw it. This was a bad day.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah,
was
I
actually a
know
bad day. Like the rest of my daily life. I mean, I would love to have those problems right now, instead of having to
that.
deal with the situation right now. So
Yeah.
that's when I discovered to kind of put things in perspective, and actually, if you're gonna say that type of stuff, that it's on their moment to it, and not because I don't know. Even I mean, even if you get fired from your from your work that pays stuff, it still is not a bad day. It's called it's life that's happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's all about your perception and how you can recover from that. It because and that puts it in perspective for you. Like your dad went through that and it's like, oh my God, okay. It can get worse. It can get worse than, having a grouchy day at work or anything else that minor that happens.
Totally.
I completely understand.
Totally. So as I was saying, that it's until those type of moments that you that you start to understand more about the whole about
Mhm.
this beautiful thing called life, that put things in perspective and make sure that you are putting your attention on things that actually may that they actually that you should actually pay attention to it, and to those things that they're like regular stuff that happens daily in our lives, some just take it as the way they are and continue moving forward.
Yeah, let the little stuff slide. You don't have time. Life's too short. Let it slide. Appreciate those good moments, and yeah, yeah, just keep on trucking. And I'd say with you, you never know whenever something could happen. Like what you were saying earlier, you never know which day is going to be your last. You don't know what. So just live life in the moment and be grateful, and as much as you can be,
Surely.
because days do happen. So it's kind of like just be have more grateful good days than you do bad days, and you're winning at life.
Exactly, because if you start to take things into consideration, you're gonna realize that that on your life you have gotten more good days than
Mhm.
actually bad days.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's such a true point.
Every day above ground is a great day.
Exactly. Preach.
I love it. And tell me, like, are there any dream roles or projects that you aspire to pursue in the future?
Yeah, so I really, really am a fan of Mike Flanagan's work. Have you heard of Mike Flanagan? He created like Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor.
I
Um,
think I might,
yeah, he's
because
big on
it's
Netflix
familiar now. Mhm.
with the horror drama type series and stuff. But I just love his work. I would love to be one day in one of his projects as a supporting or lead role. That would be amazing. But just to work with him would be such an honor. I love his storytelling and how he just lays out this entire guide when you're watching the series that he has. It just really draws you in. I'd say so anything of Mike Flanagan's, if I could get into that one day, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I kind of have always wanted to step into a superhero role. Like it might sound a little cheesy, I don't know, but for me, I just love it. I think that I could do something like that pretty well. I think morals wise, like I already kind of embody those. And so, um, yeah, I think that would be a really interesting kind of powerful role to play that I'd like to step into.
Hmm.
Yeah, like CW or something, I think would be really cool.
So who knows? Maybe at some point you will even have your own action figure.
That would be cool. I would be up for that. Yeah,
That would be dope, right? To have your,
that would be so dope.
to go to a store and then see on the whole toy version, see your action figure there. I mean, I think that would feel surreal, right? To see
Oh my
you as a
gosh.
toy somehow.
That would be insane. That would be like, I don't even know if that's me. I don't I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, that would be a really surreal moment. That would be awesome.
So who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man? Life's a journey, so who knows? Could
There you
happen.
go. And what role do you believe storytelling plays in society? And how do you see the actor's role in shaping narratives?
Oh, nice. Okay. So honestly, I mean, storytelling has been around since the beginning of time, right? Like stories have been being told, plays have been being played, and Um, so I think that, as human beings, we crave entertainment, really. It's, and some people might not think that entertainment is that important or anything like that, but it is. A lot of people they have comfort shows. They go to shows because they relate to the story, the character, they enjoy it. It brings them happiness. And I think that for me, as an actor, that's the role I want to play. I want to be in things that impact people, that make them feel good or are intrigued or can add a little something to their daily life that gives them something more to think about or just enjoyment. If even if the story can give them a new perspective approaching life for something or some new ideas, like I love all of that. And I think storytelling impacts society like that. You see all the time with influencers influencing people and things. And I feel like movies do the exact same thing. Movies and shows, people emulate that. And can kind of sometimes take those situations and scenarios and put them in their own lives and kind of go about it like that. So yeah, so I kind of feel.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, entertainment is important. Films are important place too, because I do think that it's with stories that we are able to discover or to talk about on a specific topic. Sometimes, I mean, of course, there are, you know, superhero films, comedy films that, but there's other type of stories that I think that through film have been able to set up a conversation for something, and I think that is important because
Yeah.
it helps us to kind of see both sides of the whole thing, and somehow it might help us to be more together and less divided as we are currently are. So
I completely agree. And I also think too, movies and certain characters can save people even. Like if somebody is to see someone that emulates them or looks like them or is in a similar situation as them, just having that access to see that or to read that or anything can really help people. And I've done a couple of LGBTQ films where I've played LGBTQ characters and things like that. And I think that's also very important for visibility and for people to know that they're not alone. They're not the only ones going through a certain journey. We are all going through similar journeys in life, and stories connect people. Like what you're saying, like that's how we connect, learn to communicate, learn to see other sides of the cloth, and it
yeah,
can kind of just, yeah,
yeah,
relate.
it helps you at the same time to raise awareness, right, of on a specific topic because I mean it's a shame that 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 even till this day somehow we're still feeling like we're still, as I was saying before, we are more divided than ever.
Yeah. Yep.
That once you think about it, if you're able to hear their point of view, you might like some things might resonate with you, and I do think that that is when film comes or TV shows or theater, music, whatever, that they are able to present that in a kind of neutral way somehow, but it give
Mhm.
but it opens the door for us who doesn't know anything about a specific topic, and it kind of gets you to understand more of. I mean, of course, that is up to you, but at least it helps you to see more about the other side somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree for sure.
Epic. This is amazing. And tell me, like, if you could describe your whole career,
Mhm.
but you know what, this time on a drink, how would you call it and what would it have?
Oh, and drink, I would say. So far, some of the roles that I have played have been a little devious kind of assholes at times. So
Okay.
I'll say a little spicy drink um with a little sweet kick at the end. And it would probably be called uh the Sizzler. That's what I'd call it. Sizzler, and it'd be a little spicy, a little sweet, and look very colorful and
Mm.
poppy. Yeah. That's what the drink would be. It would
So we're
definitely be alcoholic as well. So it would have some liquor in there and yeah. Because why not? Right?
that's the way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love to have a drink every now and then?
Yeah. Sweet and spicy alcoholic
Mm.
beverage called the Sizzler. I mean, come on.
So we're talking about some vodka going on it,
Yeah.
or
I'd say yeah. Let's throw I mean you gotta have like a little jalapeno in there. I'd say that would be the heat. So maybe a tequila type drink.
I got one.
Maybe.
What
Yeah.
about what about mezcal with Tabasco on it?
Oh, snap. Yeah, that'd be a kicker. Feel like that would be like I don't know, that would need like a kick in the name. Something kick,
Mm.
you know?
Mm.
God, I feel like
So,
that would take me down. I don't know.
I mean, I've tried it. I've tried it, yeah, and let me tell you that it brings you up like super quick. Like, whew, you feel like a lot of emotions going on here. Like, oh crap!
Yeah.
But but just be sure that you got something to eat before drinking that thing.
Yeah, just make sure that you're, oh, I guarantee it. And I'm like that with any spicy drink though. I love them, but at the same time they can be dangerous, especially the shots that you take, like snake bites and all
Yeah,
those things. Like, yeah, watch out.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
So okay, we'll take it. So it's the Sizzler, right?
Yeah, the Sizzler. That's
Mm,
it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And if your life were a sitcom,
Mhm.
tell me who would play the fictional version of yourself, but also how would it be called?
Oh, okay. So if my life was a sitcom, I would say, gosh, there's a girl on Schitt's Creek. I cannot remember her name. Have you ever watched Schitt's Creek?
I did I?
It's it's
I
really
don't know.
fun.
I think I, I think I
Um,
think I no, I don't know. I haven't.
I haven't
No.
seen it. Okay, so there is a character in it, and her name is Stevie. So her name's Stevie Budd. Emily Hampshire, I think, would do a great job at playing me because she in the show, her character Stevie is very like dry, sarcastic, can sometimes be a bit oblivious to things or is just like a fly on the wall. So I think if she played me, she would do really well at it. Add a little bit more bubbliness, and that would be me, sarcastic with the bubbly. But uh, but yeah, I think she'd do a pretty good job at playing me, and I think that what would it be called? Was that the next part of the question? Okay. Oh my gosh, I guess this like I don't even know, changing tides maybe or like chasing tides. I can't even come up with something on the spot. It's so funny. Um yeah, something like that with chasing something because I always feel like I I love that's another aspect about acting is you pick up so many different skills and it gives you an opportunity to go ahead and try new things.
Mm,
So in life, I always feel like I'm just chasing the next thing. Acting is the overall journey that I'm on, but I'm always chasing something new. So like I also play the drums, I box, I like to cook, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it would definitely need to have chasing in the title
Pacing in
because
it.
yeah, something
Mm,
chasing because I am always after something new, whether it be like a skill, hobby, new clothes, you know,
mm.
all kind of stuff, right?
I'll take it. So
Opportunity.
chasing tides.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, okay,
I don't know where the tides come in, but I really do love water too. So yeah, I'm just
makes sense.
right. Yeah, if you don't think about it, it makes so much sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And like, what motivates you? We all have those days that basically we just want to quit. It's inevitable, happens to all of us. So how you stay positive on a day that perhaps there's something going on your personal life, let's say.
Mhm. So basically, if I were to have a bad day, which I do have many, I mean, we all do. Normally, what I do is give myself some grace. There have been times where I'll get an audition come in, or I'll have a project that I have to go to set for, and maybe something happened in my personal life, like you were saying, or I just woke up and I hate the world. I'm just pissed because I'm grouchy. I just got to give myself some grace. So there have been times where I've tried to fight through that, and I'll go ahead and try to get that self tape done, or I'll try to record myself playing the drums, or whatever it might be. And I never get the best work out of it. I always get anger and a lot of frustration comes of it. And the only thing that I learned from that is take a minute, take a beat. You're allowed to feel those feelings and you don't have to, you can put your life on pause for a minute, to give yourself time to reset because obviously your body, your mind, something's going on that is just making you bitchy or to feel like crap, right? So give yourself grace in those moments. Give yourself time. You don't have to get that audition done right now unless it's, something where it's the quickest turnaround in the world. And yeah, do something else instead. If I'm having a bad day, I'll go do something that I enjoy that kind of requires no effort from me but makes me happy. And that's how I'll spend my time until I have that motivation to go ahead and start what I'm doing. And sometimes you don't always have motivation either. You have to kind of just get up and do it. And I would say if I'm not in a bad mood and I'm just not feeling motivated, in those moments, you just got to say, what do I want more? And it's like acting. If you want to do it and you want it more than anything in life, then it's not even a want, it's a have to. Like, I have to get this done. Your mindset kind of shifts a little bit to, this is so important to me. I'm going to put it on the front burner and we're going to hit it right now. And I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to get it done well. And yeah, that's kind of how I approach it. Sometimes you're not going to be motivated, and that's just life. We're human again, so you got to find it somewhere. You just got to do it and the motivation will follow.
Reach.
Yeah, man. All the way.
I'm just gonna put up this mic now because
just drop the mic. Mhm.
you know, but it's amazing. Yeah, it's true. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? My final question.
Yeah.
So we can all relax and enjoy after a couple of difficult, amazing questions, but also an incredible chat here. So here it is. What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Best title for this episode?
Mm-hmm.
You hit me with all the titles today, Dan. I'm not great with titles.
I used to have more. Let me just tell you that there was a time that there were like three, four questions with titles to it, but then I just reduced it with a couple of them. Like, okay, let's step
Well,
it down
thank
for a
you
little.
for reducing it because I'm struggling. Okay, so fun chat with Ash and Dan, like something funky and fresh, or something. We really dove deep today with like mental health and like life in general. So maybe oh uplifting mentality with Dan and Ash, something. I don't know. Don't know. These titles suck. But they might suck, but we did cover some really great things. So what would you name it? What would you?
I'm thinking.
This took a team effort.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm throwing it back to you.
Um. Okay, so let's see. So we did touch a lot of topics, interesting topics here.
Yeah.
So we should call it then. What about what about just shut up and enjoy?
Yes, that is
You
it.
know,
Shut up and enjoy.
shut up and enjoy.
That's all you have to do is enjoy the episode. That's all.
You know, because like the first idea I got was stop bitching and enjoy, but I was like, yeah, you know what? This is like too aggressive. Like,
Too aggressive. Let's tone it down.
like stop bitching. You
Yeah,
know?
coming in too hot.
Yeah.
Dial
So,
it back. Shut
so
up and enjoy.
yeah, shut up and enjoy. Simple.
Honestly, shut up those thoughts, all the negative thinking, shut it up. Just enjoy life,
Mm,
enjoy your blessings, recognize your blessings, and try to bless others when you get the opportunity, because why
mm.
not?
So either it's that or Ash and Dan preaching. But
Ooh,
yeah, you know,
yeah, I think those are interchangeable because I think we're great preachers. We're preaching. We're preaching. And I also feel like people do sometimes just need to shut up and enjoy. I think both are great.
or shut up and listen to Ash and Dan.
That is even better. Yeah. Let's go for that.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah.
up and listen to Ash and Dan.
Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I
Okay,
like
we have a
that.
title then.
That's it.
We'll see what happens. I love it. And yeah, I mean, at the end, what can I say? The fact that you're not just doing your own thing and you're actually making it happen. I mean, that's super badass already. I mean, I already know you were badass, but I didn't want to spoil it for everyone who is either watching this or listen to it. I got this feeling like she's badass because, as I said, you're doing what makes you happy. We all know that that's super, that's super hard. It's complicated. It can take you to, yeah, difficult moments here and there, as part of the journey, but hey, you are doing it, and I think that is the most incredible thing ever. And I'm super sure that if you were able to meet the 10-year-old version of yourself, I mean, she would be your biggest fan right now, because let's face it, right? You're doing actually what's something that your child, yeah, that your kid version thought that it was a dream. You're doing it. Yes, perhaps you're not having this $1 million contract with a, I don't know, with a film or TV show, or something like that, but that's okay, because that's part of the whole ride, to to start building your career, to start building you up to the next stage, over and over. So that is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, thank you. And you too. I mean, you're doing what you love. You're following your passions as well. And again, I think everyone should at least try what they want to do in life once. Step out of the box. It's uncomfortable, but get comfortable being uncomfortable, and your life will change. Things will happen for you. And like we said earlier, that mindset, shut up and enjoy. Go step out of the box and then let it go.
There you go. Best way to finish this epic conversation. I want to also thank those who stayed this whole episode, or those who are listening into it. Thank you so much. Now, as I said in the beginning, in the description below, you're gonna find all of Ashlee's social media. Now, because you discover why she's super badass, let's make her viral. # Team Ashlee. And again, thank you so much for making this happen. Keep shining out there. Keep rocking. And I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
All right.